this one is particularly special for me. It's my cousin Tyler's first concert that he's ever done here. And I also just think it's so cool, the nice things that, John, you guys have all done, just for helping young artists and new artists just get a chance to kind of practice and be in front of a crowd and really hone their craft. And so I've known this kid for 16 years. I've watched him grow up and into the mature man that he is today. And when I think about Tyler, there's only one word that can come to anybody's mind, and that's a performer. Ever since he was a kid, Christmas Eve, he was performing. Easter, he was performing. He loves to sing. He's got a ton of artistic talent. And while you're not the only tea weaver here tonight, you are the only tea weaver here with any skills. So, without any further ado, Tyler, take it away, buddy.
Give me a second. Okay. Hi, I'm Tyler, and as he said, I'm Tyler, and I'm 16 years old, and I'm gonna sing about 6 songs for you guys. 5 of them are originals, and this first song is called "All Those Years." We took the train, you bought us our tickets. Think of your name from my birthday wishes. When we get old, promise you'll still replay our song. I look to you for reassurance. Hide in a crowd, then fix my appearance. As we dance, I'll just look straight into your eyes. I'm so thankful that you spent all those years by my side. I spent all my hours mesmerized. All those years, you and I waiting in a storm just to see you shine. Still can't believe every day I can call you mine. Everything's different, I'll start to pace, you'll stop the current. Who would've known that one person can make things alright? Nothing to hide, and here in this moment I'll fight the fire, cause you'll keep me warm. And rooftop stargazing has never felt so right. I'm so thankful that you spent all those years by my side. I spent all my hours mesmerized. All those years, you and I waiting in a storm just to see you shine. Still can't believe every day I can call you mine. Wanna send our name to Mars, make a secret time capsule, close every door, and start a new chapter called ours. Think about you 24/7, in the night and the day, sunshine or rain, seems like you've fallen from heaven. All those years by my side, I spent all my hours mesmerized. All those years, you and I waiting in a storm just to see you shine. Still can't believe when the sun falls, I whisper goodnight. Okay. All right, so that was that song called All Those Years. And the second one is a cover song, and it's by one of my favorite music artists, Harry Styles, and it's called As It Was. So here's that. Hope you enjoy. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. Give me a second. Yes, thank you. Okay. All right, this is As It Was. holding me back. Gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who will stay. Oh, in this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was, as it was, as it was. You know it's not the same. Answer the phone. Harry, you're no good alone. Why are you sitting at home on the floor? What kind of pills are you on? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way. Seems you cannot be replaced, and I'm the one who will stay. Oh, in this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was, as it was, as it was. You know it's not the same. Go home, get a headlight speed internet. I don't wanna talk about the way that it was. Leave America, 2 kids follow her. I don't wanna talk about who's doing it first. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was. In this world, it's just us. You know it's not the same as it was, as it was, as it was. You know it's not the same. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 3 songs on the piano. This first song is called Up to Me. I try to explain what I did that day, but my answers fell short, like the plans that we made. Lost the road I've always taken, guess I got myself mistaken. What's the use in trying anyway? You didn't complain when I did it again. Had to lie in your face to protect my own pain. You'll be another face in the crowd, wishing you were around. How can I get back from this now? Maybe I should feel lonely in a room full of people. Would speaking too loud be considered illegal? Secrets I struggle to keep, digging holes way too deep. If only I could make it up to me. Daily whispers in the corner, what's the use in trying? Can't get back up when you feel like you're dying. Turning, trying to fall asleep, hopeless as I start to weep. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. I guess being new was always my excuse. There's a party tonight that I don't wanna go to. Thought that I would grow, but I'm withering in youth. Promise no regrets as I sit in my room. You swore it's the truth, but I could see right through. Told all your friends the forgotten excuse. Could have had the best, now I'm struggling to survive. Would I have to go to save another life? Maybe I should feel lonely in a room full of people. Would speaking too loud be considered illegal? Secrets I struggle to keep, digging holes way too deep. If only I could make it up to me. Daily whispers in the corner, what's the use in trying? Can't get back up when you feel like you're dying. Turning, trying to fall asleep, hopeless as I start to weep. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. One last breath, better make it count. Tried to stop, but it's too late now. I can't run, I can't hold back. Built from porcelain that's bound to crack. If I were gone, would you all be free? Holding on before I turned the key. If only you had disagreed, I could make it up to me. Maybe I should feel lonely in a room full of people. Would speaking too loud be considered illegal? Secrets I struggle to keep, digging holes way too deep. If only I could make it up to me. Daily whispers in the corner, what's the use in trying? Can't get back up when you feel like you're dying. Turning, trying to fall asleep, hopeless as I start to weep. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. If only I could make it up to me. Okay, next song is called Treasure Chest. I need you to know that you're somebody's daughter. So that little boy looking up to his father. Hope you understand how much they cared. No, you're not alone when no one's there. I need you to know how proud they're of you. And on those days when it's hard to get through, promise me you'll overcome and survive. Promise me you'll learn to live through tonight. If you rub your eyes hard enough, you're bound to see stars. If you count to 10 quick enough, you'll see love like ours. I've heard every truth you told. I've heard every lie. I've seen every part of you. I've caught you crying. And if I had a dime for every time that you confessed, I'd have enough to fill a whole treasure chest. I like how you sign every note with a smile, even though you haven't felt it in a while. Yearn for better days up ahead. Yearn to see the past hanging on a thread. I like how you stand in a crowd when you're nervous, the way you want to swim up to the surface. Never seen such a look on your face, holding each breath with every move you make. If you make believe your fate, it's bound to come true. When you wake up one day and see a new point of view. I've heard every truth you told. I've heard every lie. I've seen every part of you. I've caught you crying. And if I had a dime for every time that you confessed, I'd have enough to fill a whole treasure chest. Okay, has anyone seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once by chance? They have. Well, okay, it's about this movie, and I don't know how to explain it, but there was a really good meaning behind it, and it was kind of like how nothing in life matters, which can be a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing. But I took inspiration from the movie, and so I wrote a song called All at Once. So here's that. Everything has gone wrong. If only I wasn't afraid. Decision making and finding time when drawn from the cards I played. Everywhere I'm searching with open ears and a third eye. Seems like the chances I'm taking are the safest in my mind. Maybe there's something out there, a different universe. Maybe the risks I'm taking end up getting others hurt. All at once, it just makes sense. Finally, I understand that each decision and risk I'm taking make me who I am. All at once and face to face, holding on to past mistakes. Everything has changed. The things I touched turned to stone. Watching out and being naive was all I've ever known. Everywhere I'm going, I try to take the easy way home. But who will be waiting at the door if I got there on my own? Maybe there's something out there, a different universe. Maybe the risks I'm taking end up getting others hurt. All at once, it just makes sense. Finally, I understand that each decision and risk I'm taking make me who I am. All at once and face to face, holding on to past mistakes. Nothing matters but the time that we have. Nothing matters when you can't take it back. I'll find you in another world. Promise me you'll wait. Hold my hand and take my word. Imagine that it's fate. All at once, it just makes sense. Finally, understand that each decision and risk I'm taking make me who I am. All at once and face to face, memories that can't be replaced. Okay. The last song that I'm going to do is a song that I wrote last year, and it's kind of about growing up, leaving home, and just, like, growing up and leaving home. So, this is called After the Rain. they believe in me? Where might I go wrong to plan a future that could affect us all? Oh, what will I miss? A calm before the storm. Move away to a city I've never been before. Despise this, but I'll miss it somehow, reminisce. Yet I'm living it now, fantasize. A bustling little street, close my eyes, and I'm home. After the rain comes a gust of wind. Take me away from the places I've been. Mom might call, I'll say everything's fine. My life has arrived since it changed after the rain. Can't stop the thinking, seconds passing by. I feel there's a cyclone, looks like I'm bound to fly. Despise this, but I'll miss it somehow, reminisce. Yet I'm living it now, fantasize. A bustling little street, close my eyes, and I'm home. After the rain comes a gust of wind. Take me away from the places I've been. Mom might call, I'll say everything's fine. My life has arrived since it changed after the rain. I'm not that lost, beat the monsters in the dark. I'm not afraid to clean up the mess I made. After the rain comes a gust of wind. Take me away from the places I've been. Mom might call, I'll say everything's fine. My life has arrived since it changed after the rain. After the rain. My life has arrived since it changed after the rain.
Thank you. That's all. Enjoy the concert. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Excellent job. You know, I've been doing music professionally for, I'm going on 3 years now, and none of that would have happened if I didn't go to a school that had a coffee house program where young songwriters like myself, when I was your age, weren't allowed to go up and share music. So thanks to John, and thanks to all of you for making more musicians. Well, my name is Noah G. Fowler. This is Parker Kaplan playing bass over there. We came here all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. We're currently on tour, and this is our very last show. So we're really grateful for the opportunity to share this music. We were out of merch, but we actually know that's not completely true. There's one very small shirt left. So after the show, we'll figure out who gets it, because I'm not bringing it with me. All right. This first song's a song that I wrote. It's called She Was Like a Storm in Kansas. Well, she was like a storm in Kansas. You could see her coming for miles. But there was nothing the poor boy could do to avoid the heartache and pain. She was sweet, she was beautiful and kind. You'd love to have her as your own. Her voice was soft, but her words would cut you like wind does to stone. Now once I was an antelope bounding on the West Texas plains, till time killed me with a dagger called living to the end of your days. And I became the prairie dirt, prairie grass, and all the sprawling wildflowers. She'd come and drift over me and talk to herself for hours. Drift over me till time means nothing anymore. Oh, sing to me, soft rain, I wanna hear your lonesome sound. I've waited here 10,000 years. What am I supposed to do now? She was the lights of New York City. You could easily confuse for the stars, but you get lost among the boulevards and hop on all the wrong trains. She was 1 in 12 million, or was she 12 million and one? You'd be done with the working day, but the working day wouldn't hardly be done. Now I'm a child of when I'm an orphan in every major interstate. I've seen the inside of every diner, ooh, and how they all love to look just the same. It's all old-time pictures, Folger, some lazy 80s too. It's all just pancake dinners, and it's all just passing through. Drift over me till time means nothing anymore. Oh, sing to me, soft rain, I wanna hear your lonesome sound. Oh, I've waited here 10,000 years. What am I supposed to do now? Thank you. Well, this next one's a song I wrote after listening to Conway Twitty music for about 13 hours while I was driving from Texas to Texas, and I was on tour with another musician. My co-pilot, as you could say, was asleep, next to me, and the phone kind of fell between the car seats, so I just, Conway Twitty over and over again. So, it's great because I love Conway Twitty's music, but if you don't like Conway Twitty's music, then that's definitely going to be a long ride. But this is the song I wrote after getting back to Nashville, eventually. This one's called It Ain't Cheatin', She's Only Getting Even. I can't speak much of her character, that thin and distressed frame. Can't speak to much of anything, I hardly remember her name. She's in my room on the far side of town. She said it's the rules as written, as long as they're written down. It ain't cheating, she's only getting even. The lights down low, she's feeling some kind of high, serving it ice cold. That's what I'm told. It ain't cheating, she's only just getting even. I did not know what I was getting into when she took that she done wrong. So now, friends, if you've got a woman, know the rules before you let another girl bring it down. It ain't cheating, she's only getting even. Lights down low and she's feeling some kind of high. Serving it ice cold, that's what I'm told. It ain't cheating, she's only just getting even. Serving it ice cold, that's what I'm told. It ain't cheating, she's only just getting even. Ah, thank you. That's that good old country music right there. The way it was, were, and oughta still should, you know. Now, this next song, it's a song that I wrote about if you can't quite tell if somebody's in love with you or if they're just a very nice person. It's also got a lot of truth in it, you know. Like I said before, I do this for a living. So does Parker. I travel around a lot, and I go to a lot of places I've never been to before, and I just kind of got to accept, you know, when you're out there on the road, you know, sometimes you end up in situations that aren't, you know, as cozy as being in your bed watching Netflix and, you know, hanging out with the cats and the, you know. I don't own any cats, but they come in the house sometimes, and, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to kick them out. They're, you know, adorable little animals. But, you know, back in August, I was on a particularly brutal run of shows. I was touring with a fiddle player who's a really good friend of mine and a native Illinoisan. He grew up in Chicago. And it was one of those tours where, like, we would, you know, get to the venue and we'd find out that they, like, double booked us, and so, like, we wouldn't get paid, or, like, we had a few shows cancel on us, and it was like a 14-day run, and I think we had about 4 shows cancel on us, which is, you know, it's a lot when you depend on it, you know. And you know, we had a friend who was putting us up who may or may not have accidentally locked us out. There was a heated discussion the night before about some politics, and next thing you know, we found ourselves on the wrong side of a door in downtown Richmond, Virginia, at about 2 a.m. We had to, like, hightail it back to the bar just to see the last people outside smoking cigarettes at closing time. We had to find one of them to stay with, you know. And we had another show. They told us they had some air mattresses, and, you know, they'd put us up. You know, we was like 3 hours out of the way to play this show, and didn't really pay anything, but we you know, did it anyway, because, you know, we love playing music. That's what we do. And we got there and we played the show, and it ended early because everybody left. And then, like, we're just like, hey, what about those air mattresses? We're both exhausted. We've been away from home for 14 days. We just want to sleep and, you know, hit the road early. And they're like, oh, we don't know who said we had air mattresses, but here's some hammocks, and there's a stretch of woods behind the bar. Feel free to tie them up back there. That's what we did. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, well, I was going to thank you later in the set, but I'll thank you right now. Okay, well, okay. Yeah. I know, yeah, it could be hammocks. Man. And then, normally, this is where I start the song, but because we're talking about accommodations and stuff, I'll just add this little caveat, you know. I think it's like a pendulum, you know, the kind of energy of the world and stuff kind of moves in cycles and stuff. So that very next month, I end up impromptu getting put up in the same week by some, like, very, very wealthy oil tycoons in Houston in a mansion downtown, and then later that week, a luxury apartment on Wall Street, both by complete total strangers that just like the music, you know. So anyway, I'll get to thanking you in a bit, because I got a song that works for that, you know. Oh, it's all right. We were getting heckled last night too. It's just a part of it, you know. Anyway, all right, here's the song. Was Was it love when she let me stay upon her couch that night? She rolled her eyes before she walked to bed. She gave me water to drink, tortilla chips to eat. It was reciprocated when I left an indent on her door from my forehead. And if you're smart, you can get by with little or nothing at all. You don't have chances from slim to none do fall. How the floor can feel like memory foam when you're not too far from me. How your disappointed sighs sings my ass to sleep. I'm a fool for you, I'm a fool, I'm on my own. I'm a fool when I'm with you too. There's fools in love, well, those fools done had enough fooling around without you. Care for me enough to spot me a little change when my gas tank gets siphoned when I park down by the train tracks downtown when I was gigging just to make my rent. What's a poor broke fool to do when all his hard-earned money spent? Now I feel like a burden, but thank you kindly, dear. That weed that you gave me made my judgment disappear. I hope I've not mistaken kindness for your love when I know that there's others that you're thinking of. I'm a fool for you, I'm a fool, I'm on my own. I'm a fool when I'm with you too. There's fools in love, else fools I've had enough fooling around without you. Comes, money goes, can't lose these feelings for her. I'm broke, I'm lonesome, I'm so close to calling it quits. When you lean in so close, hope it might be for a kiss. I'm a fool for you, I'm a fool, I'm on my own. I'm a fool when I'm with you too. Fools in love, well, fools not had enough fooling around without you. Fools in love, fools not had enough fooling around without you. All right. Well, not all the stories about the songs are going to be that long, or else this show is going to be 4 hours. So I'll just say this one's a lonesome country waltz. For those who like lonesome country waltzes, this one's called Remember Now We're Through. I wrote it with a buddy of mine, and we were sitting in my backyard trying to write it, and I was just like, run on, freight train, run on. And I was like, there's no way we're going to actually write a song like with that, you know? And then, yeah, we did, so here's the song. Run on, freight train, run on. Outside of my window you whine. It covers the sound of this lonely old house where you bade me a tearful goodbye. Remember the times we were happy. I remember the nights so good. I can still hear the sound of your laughter. I'm trying to remember now we're through. I lean down to pick you a clover, but 3 leaves won't make dreams come true. I didn't know for a while it was over, but hearts change, it's just what they do. Remember the times we were happy. I remember the nights so good. I can still hear the sound of of your laughter. Trying to remember now we're through. We were hanging on like the last leaves of autumn, but I'd figured you'd known for a while. Well, the longer you delayed, well, the harder I prayed. It's the deadliest form of denial. Remember the times we were happy. I remember the nights so blue. I can still hear the sound of your laughter. Trying to remember now we're through. I can still hear the sound of your laughter. Trying to remember now we're through. Well, here's a song I wrote. It's inspired by my my time working odd jobs and making weird friends. During COVID, there wasn't really any music going on where I was up in Central PA. So I was working a construction job, and I was doing other stuff too. I was like digitizing old VHS tapes and like, you know, organizing, you know, storage spaces, and like, you know, I was painting. I was doing some trucking for a local, you know, construction company. That was the same one I was working for. And more recently, whenever work started to dry up for the winter, I started doing some construction work again, and started driving tourists around, doing the Uber thing, and just working odd jobs and making weird friends. And so that's about all I can say about this one. I've been working some odd jobs. Well, I'm trying to make a living, trying to make ends meet. I've been making some weird friends. Well, I wake up every morning and I gotta do it all again. Well, Monday morning when my card declines, Army recruiter's on the other line, but I told him not to waste his time. Yeah, I'm a worker, not a fighter, and I'm doing alright. And I've been working some odd jobs. I'm trying to make a living, trying to make ends meet. I've been making some weird friends. Well, I wake up every morning, gotta do it all again. Tomorrow I'm scrubbing hot pans with Jesus Jim, washing off the dirt to see the light within. But don't get him started on the moon landing. Lately it ain't the only thing I've been questioning. 'Cause I've been working some odd jobs. Well, I'm working for a living, trying to make ends meet. I've been making some weird friends. Well, I wake up every morning, gotta do it all again. I gotta write a verse for my buddy Sam. He may not treat you like you're worth a damn, but just for kicks he fixed my van. Now we're speeding off across the promised land. Now we're speeding off across the promised land. Now we're speeding off across the promised land. Thank you. Well, this next one's also got a story. Oh boy, yeah. So this one, well, I'll first like to say that, you know, I love being a songwriter. It's the only way I would ever want to do life, because it kind of forces you to really pay attention to other people and places for inspiration, you know, because there's already been so many songs that have been written already, you know, and I don't like to write songs that have already been written, so I try to really pay attention to new folks when I meet them and hear their stories and, you know, find inspiration there. I found this one in a taxi cab one day when I was coming back from the airport. It was an older gentleman, and we, you know, got to talking, and I mentioned I'm a musician, and he said, "Oh, I used to be a musician back in the day." I was like, "Oh yeah, like what'd you do?" He's like, "I used to play weddings out in East Tennessee where I lived." And I said, "Oh, that's, you know, definitely a great way of doing it. I'm not much of a wedding musician player myself. I like to play, you know, songs that I wrote." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I made a living off of it for years, and you know, the funny thing is I was a terrible singer. I couldn't hold a pitch, or I couldn't remember any of the words." And I was just like, "Well, how'd you do it?" And he said, "Well, there's this local pastor that would hire me to intentionally ruin the weddings of people he didn't like." And I was like, "That's awesome." I mean, it's horrible that pastor happened to dislike so many members of his own community that it gave this guy a living for years. But, well, I wrote that one down and held on to it for a while, and a good friend of mine named Liv Green helped me turn it into a song. It's called "In the Little Church with the Biggest Parking Lot." In an East Tennessee town, I was singing before I made my money driving round, and I would hear all the church bells go ringing, and I knew there was fortune to be found. One day my father introduced me to his old friend in the highway church with the biggest parking lot. He said this time of year it always gets so busy when the kids come round to quickly tie the knot. Well, no one was dancing when I sang Sweet Caroline, but I knew my pretty singing was what got that bride to crying. And I was the best wedding singer that little country town I got, in the little church with the biggest parking lot. And all of the crepe myrtle bushes were blooming, but the bride reused her flowers from the prom. I gave my first act guitar a little tuning. How the fathers love to hear that journey song. Well, the groom said he was just checking if the back door was unlocked, as the hallway quickly filled with his angry new in-laws. And I was the best wedding singer that little country town I got, with the biggest parking lot. How the deaf papas loved it when I sang Old Rocky Top. The bride's glass sat half empty, but she drank not a drop. And I was the best wedding singer that little country town got. In the little church with the biggest parking lot. Thank you. Now, this one's got to do with the odd jobs. You know, I try to write country music, and by country music, I don't mean pop music with some guy that's faking an accent. You know, I mean songs about working people and, you know, heartbreak and, you know, all the great stuff that I love about country music. And so I do a lot of work just to keep the dream alive. And I moved to Nashville with a dream of being a country music singer and a songwriter. And, you know, sometimes things get really tough and you got to do some non-dream related work activities just to keep the fridge full, you know. Try to keep yourself from getting dizzy, you know. And so this is one I wrote with a good friend of mine named Mose Wilson, who he's a couple steps ahead of me in the music industry. But when he first got to town, he was doing a lot of driving. So we got together and kind of put our heads together. And when this one came out, this one's called the Nashville Townie Blues. I came here chasing the light of an old faded star, trying to write some words to sing in the bars. And time after time after time, I nearly broke through. But I'm paying my dues. I'm trying to lose these Nashville Townie Blues. I nearly thought I'd done it when we packed out the old exit in. Every song was a hit, and the crowd made us sing one again. To row after row after row, my good time and friends, they're all paying their dues. They're trying to lose these Nashville Townie Blues. I spend most of my time driving tourists around. Someone dropped a big old city on what used to be musical town. They built building after building after building. That same old faded star still shines on through on me paying my dues. I'm trying to lose these Nashville towny blues. Thank you, Coach. Well, we both live in Nashville, but I'm originally from South Central Pennsylvania in a town called Carlisle. It's right there by Gettysburg and Landisburg and Mechanicsburg and Millersburg and Lewisburg and Wormleysburg and Dillsburg, Harrisburg. You're a bit far from Pittsburgh, but anyway. One thing I noticed a lot was every year there were a lot of farms south of where I grew up. Well, there were farms pretty much everywhere where I grew up, but the one south of where I grew up happened to be a lot of orchards where they grow apples and peaches and all that kind of stuff, because that one part of Pennsylvania, just that one little strip of Adams County, is known as the Pennsylvania Fruit Belt. It's like somebody just took a little tiny slice of Georgia and stuck it way up north in PA, and it's great for the local industry. But a lot of those fields are manned by migrant workers who travel from field to field, from town to town, and just kind of follow the harvest and make the money and send it back home. And unfortunately, those people, despite the fact that they put the food on our plates to sustain us, they don't really get a whole lot of visibility in the kind of day-to-day life of, the people who are getting fed by them. So this is a song that I wrote to just do my part to give them that little bit of visibility. This one's called One Apple Seed. Hitchhiked here from a far-off land, oh, picking fruit with my calloused hands. They call me One Apple Seed. In Adams County tonight I'll sleep. My compadre's got a pickup truck, got my own 2 hands on an ounce of luck. Last week was West Virginia, where there's still snow. When we're done, we're going to Ohio. And it's been 10 long years since I left my home. Beautiful Mother Mexico. I travel with the harvest, I lay seeds in the ground. One day, too, they'll lay me down. One day, too, they'll lay me down. Seed to flower, flower to fruit. Oh, feet to goodwill, working boots. Highway to back road, town to town. Oh, fruit to seed back in the ground. And it's been 10 long years since I left my home. Yeah. Drop off the kids at public school. They go to learn American rules. Far below minimum wage. I'm far too tired for my age. And it's been 10 long years since I left my home. Beautiful mother Mexico. I travel with the harvest tally seeds in the ground. One day till they'll lay me down. One day till they'll lay me down. Well, here's another song about where I'm from. This takes place in my hometown of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which was a part of the Battle of Gettysburg. It was occupied by the invading Confederate Army for 3 days, from July 1st to July 3rd. And there's also a statue of Molly Pitcher in Carlisle that sits above where she's supposedly buried. Molly Pitcher was a Revolutionary War hero who, the story goes, is when her husband was shot and killed in the war, she, picked up the rammer and loaded up the cannons and fought in her husband's place. And I always kind of wondered, while the town was being occupied, what the occupying army would have thought, because I was sure, one of those soldiers would have seen that statue, and I always wondered what that, what would have gone through the mind of that soldier. And I just kind of had that thought, in my head for a while. I tried to write that as a song, but it wasn't enough to say something that I felt like was worth saying. And a few months later, the war broke out between Ukraine and Russia overseas, and I heard an interview in the New York Times with a Russian soldier who was talking about how he didn't believe in the war. He didn't believe in, killing folks that just looked like him and were just trying to defend their homes. And just overall was saying how he, is really upset with the situation he's in, being drafted to fight in something he didn't believe in. And somewhere between that first, concept and that second concept, I wrote this song. This one's called Traveler in a Hard Time. Father's from Ireland. I was born in New Orleans during the worst time for a young man to be born with dreams. They gave me a rifle. I marched far away, 'cause a rich man in a field wouldn't give up his slaves. And how the stars shine bright o'er the Mason-Dixon line. And I've seen dead eyes planted in Gettysburg clay, and how the stars shine bright o'er the Mason line. And I've seen dead eyes, they look just like mine. I've seen dead eyes that look just like mine. There's a statue of a woman with a hammer in her hand. The courthouse, the shell still stands. Thank you. Well, this next song is about warehouse work. If you got any warehouse workers, this one is especially dedicated to you. I worked in a warehouse, speaking about jobs, and so did my brother, and so did both my parents, and so did pretty much everybody I knew growing up. It was a warehouse town due to the fact that Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I know what all you are thinking, great, I got to come to a show to hear about Carlisle, Pennsylvania. But it sits on the interstice of I-81 and I-78, which means that by truck you can reach about 70% of the entire U.S. population in 24 hours. So there's a lot of warehouses there, if you can imagine. The town's got a population of about 16,000 and an unemployment rate of somewhere around 0. Because people just bounce around, get fired or quit one warehouse, go to another one. That's just how it is. And I wrote this one just because I saw the impact it had on the lives of people, but also I wrote it after the tornado came through Illinois and Kentucky and Tennessee in 2021 and took the lives of some warehouse workers. It was coming through, I believe it was around this part of the state, or not too far from here. And the story goes is that the tornado was coming, and the supervisor would not allow the workers to take shelter because somehow that supervisor made a calculation that the lives of those workers were worth less than the things that they were processing, which is horrible. And so I don't, try to get too political with my music, but if I can have one kind of political message, it's to stop giving money to Amazon and stop giving money to, large corporations like that, especially Amazon, that both, devalue and, sometimes destroy the lives of people, but also, outcompete and destroy local small businesses. Support people that take care of you. And, don't give more money to Amazon. Sorry, I can't stay a while. Have to get home soon. I'll pay you back when I can. My word is good, but the rent is due. I'm working so damn hard, got cracks in my arms. I don't feel the pain anymore. I spend my time on the sorting line of the warehouse floor, and if I croak during my shift, productivity will take a hit. Just push my body away, clean it up if you get a break. Oh, if I die working sorting line, push me aside, just bury me in boxes when I die. get boxes and people from all over the place, but we sent a lot of them back. Oh, to a landfill it will go if it's got a crack. Get your money back. This box I hold smells of marijuana. Wish to God that I was stoned. And if I die in this warehouse, at least I won't die alone. And if I kick it during my shift, the productivity will take a hit. Just push my body away, clean it up at the end of the day. Whoa, if I die working the sword and line, push me aside, just bury me in boxes when I die. I so much as sprain my wrist, all the shareholders take a hit. Then a crooked doctor will ease my pain. Fentanyl, take me away. Oh, if I die working the sword and line, push me aside. You're on the clock, don't you dare waste time. So just bury me in boxes when I die. I believe we got time for maybe 2 or 3 more. Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. It's crazy going someplace you've never been before and people show up to see you. It's pretty great. It's pretty special. And this is a really special event. And I'm really grateful for everybody for being here, for putting it together. John, thank you so much for having me. Yeah. It's really great. Got to work out this way. Yeah, so here's a song. It's got another story. So, man, I got heckled last night for telling a story that was a bit too long. So, but I mean, I feel like this is one of my most. I'm not from the Midwest. I'm from northern Appalachia, Mid-Atlantic. Which is pretty culturally, different. Because over there, like if you get heckled, you just gotta take it or heckle them back. 'Cause that's just. But like. We were playing at this bar, and some guy was like, play the song, stop talking, and, immediately, everybody came over to him, to say something, after the show, I can't even tell, at, double digits, over 10 people came up to me individually and said, I said something to him, we want you to know we love your stories, and he doesn't represent us. Then, another person said the same. It was so many people, which, it's one of my favorite things about the Midwest is y'all, look out for each other and you look out for people just passing through. So I really appreciate that about all of you. Anyway, here's the story, all right? So I got this one. I know, yeah. I should have said that part after. But I know, yeah. So this is a story that was passed down to me from my grandmother. She grew up in an Irish Catholic coal mining community up in the mountains of central Pennsylvania, and it was in a county called Schuylkill County, which was at one point the anthracite coal mining capital of the entire world. And back then, they would basically just take these Irish immigrants right off the boat and put a pickaxe in their hands and send them down into the mine. And as some crazy kind of things would happen, you know, like the company would pay them, you know, about $5 a week to, you know, do life-threatening, you know, dangerous work. And then as soon as they'd get their paycheck, they'd say, oh, by the way, you owe us $10 for using our pickaxe. And they would do stuff like that to sort of trap them in debt so they would have to work for this company forever. They would also, you know, do all kinds of incredibly dangerous mining practices. If you ever do some research, the amount of injuries related to dynamite accidents among Irish workers was appalling. So a group of them got together, and they formed a group called the Molly Maguires, and they fought back, and they started making a difference. And, you know, once folks start making a difference is whenever, you know, the powers that be start to crack back down. So there's a priest from Philadelphia. The mining companies thought, well, hey, these Irish immigrants they're good Catholics. Maybe they'll listen to a man of the cloth. So they paid this, you know, this priest to go in, and they said, get some names, you know, figure out who these Molly Maguires are, and we'll get rid of them. So this priest went in and he started giving a sermon about, you know, the value good work, and, you know, don't fight the powers, and, you know, the local community got hit pretty quick to what was going on, and they roughed him up and told him to get out of town. Now, where the story gets a little crazy here is that the priest, he supposedly laid a curse on the town, and he said that, you know, this whole town, for, you know, participating in assaulting a man of the cloth, is gonna fall into hell, and it's all going to crumble, collapse, fall. It'll be smitten, and to prove I'm right, the last thing to stand will be the Catholic Church. And that town where this all happened was called Centralia, which in the 60s, the coal mines underneath the town happened to catch on fire. The town started to collapse, was evacuated, and one of the 8 structures that's still standing happens to be that Catholic Church. And depending on how much mysticism you know, allow in your life, you can either believe it was the curse, or you could believe it was due to the reckless and dangerous mining conditions that the Molly Maguires were fighting back against in the first place. So this one's called The Ballad of Centralia. I've come here to sing you a story about the fire still burning today. Under Centralia, heart of Pennsylvania, where now only 5 people stay. Was in 1869, came a priest from Philadelphia to save the town. Said the souls were going down. He said, men, I'm here to save you. He said, you better quit all your sinning, for that's a raging fire. Oh, Satan has saved for lazy workers, free thinkers, and Molly Maguires. The Mollys had never been stronger. They fought and died for the working man. And they killed our first mayor when he showed too much favor to the companies, putting the town in danger. So they sent us that dirty priest, thinking he could do them a favor, to threaten the souls of the hard-working folks, so they do the unsafest labor. He said, you better quit all your sinning, for hell has a raging fire. Oh, Satan has saved for the lazy workers, free thinkers, and Molly Maguires. So than my great-grandfather. He took 3 of his best fighting men. They wouldn't kill a deacon, sure as hell ruin his weekend. He won't come back to Centralia again. But that priest, he did more than frown. Folks say he cursed the whole goddamn town. He said it'll all fall away, and all that'll be saved will be the church of Saint Ignatius. And here comes my part of this story, this one that I'm singing to you. When one day I found in my tanks underground hit a temperature of 172, and it's been 100 years now since they hung all the Molly Maguires. But the town's not done paying for the deeds that day and was cursed with an underground fire. Everyone had to move out. There's 5 of us left in town. The fire still burns today, and all that's unscathed is that church of Saint Ignatius. And if heaven is full of executives who made money minded at the side, well, just throw me down in that raging fire in hell with Molly Maguires. And if heaven is full of executives and angels minded at the side, well, just throw me down in that raging fire in hell with the Molly Maguires. Well, I got a request actually to do a song, and I forgot about it until right now. The request was Parker. It wasn't, you know. This is a John Hartford song. If you got any John Hartford fans out there. Oh, yeah. So I said I live in Nashville. I live in a part of Nashville called Madison, Tennessee. And Madison was annexed into Nashville in the 1980s. We used to be a little tiny, quiet railroad town that then got, you know, further developed and, you know, then incorporated into Nashville proper. But John Hartford lived there, and so did Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and a lot of folks back in the day. And now it's home to a lot of, you know, hardworking immigrants and construction workers and musicians, because it's the cheapest part of town. So it's, you know, for that reason, it's a really lovely place. It's got a lot of, you know, symbiotic relationships between the different communities and stuff. But this is the song from John Hartford's day that he wrote about Madison, Tennessee. And I changed the last verse a bit. If you've ever been to Madison, Tennessee, you'll get it. If you haven't, then you'll see. We'll do the key of D. For those following along, we're doing this one in the key of D. $10, ooh, just these dirty clothes and a rag I borrowed somewhere got some kind of feeling, I've been feeling kind of low. I can hear the sirens wailing way down on Gallatin Road. I put my finger on a map, who knows where I may be. I'll find my way back to my home in Madison, Tennessee. Madison's a good old place if fiddle music is your taste. Been living here since '63 in Madison, Tennessee. Behind Jenna's, under a full moon, fiddlers and guitar pickers crowd inside a room. We're picking songs made popular back in 1973. We're raising the roof on the double wide in Madison, Tennessee. Madison's a good old place if country music is your taste. Been living here since '63 in Madison, Tennessee. I'll renew my lease in '23 in Madison, Tennessee. Oh, thank you. Well, my name is Noah G. Fowler. That's Parker Kaplan right there. And if you have time, we have one T-shirt left. Like I said, it's a real little one. Someone can just take it. You know, I don't care. Somebody just grab it. I also have an email list over there. We just recorded a whole bunch of music, and some of it's starting to be released. So if you'd like to stay up to date with that, sign up for the email list. And also, next time we come through this area, if you're on the email list, I'll send you an email and say, hey, friend, I'd love to see you again. Come on out to the show. So it's over there. I included a pen. Please don't steal my pen. And I also want to thank everybody once again for coming out and paying some donations. This is what we do for a living, so those donations go towards great things like a roof over our head and food on our table, and I can't thank you enough for contributing. And gas for the car. That's right. I used to drive an old GMC truck, so the gas was, if someone wants to get into the year-end tax credits for fuel-heavy vehicles, then I would love to talk after the show. But actually, if I may do two more instead of one, I would love to hand the guitar over to Parker here. Is that all right, folks? All right. Parker's also a fantastic songwriter, and it's been a real privilege to have him with me on this tour. Real privilege to have him show me around his old home in Chicago and all of his friends, and it's really, I can't thank you enough, Parker. Not just for being my bass player, but being my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, Parker Kaplan.
I don't know if anyone here knows where McHenry, Illinois is. It's not too far from here. I was born there, and I wasn't born there. I grew up there. I was actually born in Macomb, and my parents went to Western, and I grew up in McHenry. Went to school in Chicago, and this is a song I wrote with one of my friends I met there at Columbia, and we moved down to Nashville together. We wrote this one just a couple weeks ago. We like writing country music, and we like the tradition of country music, and there's a lot of songs in the tradition about truck drivers and how fast they go and how far they go, and we thought that was unfair to the ones that aren't so lucky to go so far and run into some trouble. So the song's about that. How will I ever make it to Toledo on time? I got 18 wheels, they ain't all working at the same time. One went flat in Shreveport, another in Birmingham. I got 18 wheels, they ain't all working at the same time. Well, when I pulled that lever, I'd put her in drive forever. My engine was roaring, but I've been snoring up 65. Well, it's bumper to bumper on every highway in Alabama. I got 18 wheels, they ain't all working at the same time. Well, when I cross state lines, I got brand new lives to live for. I got 18 wives, 18 families to provide for. It's paycheck to paycheck, and I'd make it through just fine. But I got 18 wheels, and they ain't all working at the same time. Will I ever make it to Toledo on time? I got 18 wheels, they ain't all working at the same time. One went flat in Shreveport, another in Birmingham. I got 18 wheels, and they ain't all working at the same damn time. Thank you so much.
One more time for Parker Kaplan, everybody. Well, this is going to be our last song here. This song, if you like it, it's recorded and it's on the internet, and it's called Sleeping in the Rain. And this is the part of the show where I always say thank you to whoever we're staying with. So, Carlin, thank you so much for having us and for putting us up. This one is written about trying to find love while couch surfing. It's called If I Can't Have Your Love, I'll Be Sleeping in the Rain. Thank you so much, folks. My name is Noah G. Fowler. Make sure to check out that email list on the way out if you can. And, yeah. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain. Sleeping in the rain, my head hanging low. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain. Now Now my poor heart's got nowhere left to go. Well, I wish that I was driving on the highway, I-95 southern bound, with you sleeping to my right and the music playing low, so low you can't hear the thunderclouds. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain, sleeping in the rain, with my head hanging low. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain. Now my poor heart's got nowhere left to go. I wish I was a dollar in your hand. Trade me now for anything you need. Then you spend all waking day doing everything you can to try to go and earn me back again. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain, sleeping in the rain, with my head hanging low. If I can't have your love, I'll be sleeping in the rain. Now my poor heart's got nowhere left to go. My poor heart's got nowhere left to go. Thank you, folks. Have a great rest of your night.